Betsy DeVos is now our new Secretary of Education. Today, the Senate confirmed her as the new Education Secretary, even after the Democrats held a 24-hour hearing to try and switch enough Republicans to reject her appointment. That effort, of course, unfortunately, has failed. So now what's interesting is that the Senate, the vote, how this turned out, is actually unprecedented how it happened. See, right now, before the vote was, the tie-breaking vote was cast, and that's what makes it so interesting, by the way, it was tied 50-50. So you had 50 Republicans, 50 Democrats, 2 Republicans flipped over. I'll talk about them in a minute. Now, the final vote is, of course, 51-50. Well, no, wait a minute. There's only 100 senators. Well, it turns out Vice President Mike Pence had to go and make the final vote. And this is a historic tie-breaking vote. So, hey, congratulations on breaking a new record at least, because this literally has never happened before in the history of America. And that also goes to show how divisive this pick is. We've never seen this before. So this is crazy. Now, again, all the Democrats, they voted no. You had 2 Republicans, Suzanne Collins of Maine and Lisa Murkowski of Alaska, saying, we're going to vote with the Democrats. No, because we don't think you're qualified. In fact, the lawmaker says, both lawmakers in speeches said, look, you don't have any experience or familiarity with public schools or any familiarity with laws meant to protect some of our students, even some of our most vulnerable students. You don't know what you're doing. You are dangerously unqualified. You might mean well, and maybe she does mean well. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know. I think she doesn't mean well, actually, and I think she wants to destroy public schools in favor of religious education. That's what I think, personally. But again, she's incredibly unqualified, and at least 2 Republicans turned around and said, we agree. I think that she was only there, too, because she gave $200 million to the Republican Party. It's the $200 million question. You give to the Republicans, and a Republican gets elected, and guess what? You get a special nomination. You get a special cabinet seat that you're not qualified for. So, again, not a good sign. Now, again, we do have to give credit to Suzanne Collins and Lisa Murkowski because they actually did the right thing. They said that they had been influenced by the thousands of messages they had received urging them to reject her nomination. Now, it didn't just come from left-wing groups. You also had former students of charter schools that Betsy DeVos had set up coming out and saying she absolutely has, look, I love my education. I got a great education in my opinion, but she has no idea what she's doing. She has she should not be in charge of education for the rest of the country. And these are people who support school choice. There are even so-called school choice groups that were saying she's dangerously unqualified, as well as, of course, teachers' unions. So these were people that are normally against each other, came together in some cases to tell the American people that we need to reject Betsy DeVos because she is so dangerously unqualified. So now if you're wondering what that giant sucking sound is now that you hear, well, that's money going from public schools right into charter schools. Religious-backed, religious-themed charter schools. That's where this money from public education is going to go. So now your kids get to learn about how Jesus accidentally left the dinosaurs off the ark. And that's why we don't have dinosaurs anymore. If you believe they were even there in the first place. Congratulations, Mike Pence. You have managed to help destroy education in this country. And I actually do think that it's going to go that way. And you might be thinking, come on, Jeff, it might not be that bad. You don't know what she's going to do. Well, we do know what she's done, and we do know how unqualified she is. She hasn't done anything other than bankroll charter schools that are religious themed in origin. So, again, look, that's not to say that there aren't problems with our current education system. There are some major problems. Okay, you've got ridiculous focus on test scores and teaching to tests, and there are schools that are massively underfunded. I understand now that, right? And I think that the schools have done a terrible job at teaching things like critical thinking and problem-solving skills. But That said, and not only that, but, of course, to mention the ridiculous way we fund public schools through property taxes. Ridiculous. So poorer areas, the people in poorer areas always get the short end of the stick. And if you want to say, hey, man, I understand school choice in that area. Well, how about we change the funding system to make sure that the poorer schools do not get underserved in the first place? You wouldn't need school choice or vouchers to do that. So, but again, what we're going to see is instead of fixing the school system, the public school system, we're going to see the privatization of education. And that, again, is not a good thing. You don't fix things by destroying school, by giving out vouchers to basically unaccountable, unregulated, religious-based charter schools. That is not the answer to fixing our education system. So, yeah, I'm pretty clear on this. I don't think this is good for anybody who values education as something that's fundamental to a functional democracy. I don't. This is a bad choice, and we're going to see just how she destroys the public education system, but we know she's going to. Hey everybody, thanks for watching this video. If you want to see more like this, please hit the subscribe button below. And if you want to support truly independent progressive media, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/TYTNation.